Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I do apologize for the extended long holiday break that I was on between my last video and this video. Um, Things around the house have changed quite a bit, although I do want to give you an update and I want to talk about something really important today, which is your ears. So let me start with the update and follow up with things that have been going on around here, and then I will finish with my recent experience with cleaning my ears. Obviously, in audio, your ears and your sense of hearing is the primary goal for all of our endeavors. Without your ears, none of the hobby matters. So please protect your ears. Okay, the update first. Let me swing around here and show you what's been going on. In the space, as you know, my home theater has been in a little bit of a disarray. I've got my height channels. I got shelving here from my surround channels a little while ago. The Bucart audios are still in the house with my snacks on top. Sorry about that, Mads. I promise they're in good condition. So the surround channels on this side as well. This is interesting. I will have to do a completely other video about that. Some people are going to know what it is. Let me get a light going here. So the surround system, heights, surround speakers on the back, as usual, these have all been disconnected for the longest time. Some people will know that I did have a Marantz unit come through, and unfortunately, the Marantz unit had an issue upon arrival, and I had to send that one back for an RMA repair refund. At the time, the Cinema 40s are not in wide stock availability here in Canada. So I chose to go the refund route, and I've got something else planned. But what I did in the meantime, while I had the time, was I fixed my height channels around the front. But what I did was move them forward a little bit. We'll see around here. I used to have them back in this location. This is closer to the window. This is just that's a rod there I use for my laundry. So we know that the windows are out here behind the curtains like this. Yeah, we got snow out here in the land of Ontario. Very snowy. So the windows are there. I put my air conditioner in this space beside these very Canadian camping chairs. I've got storage here in the back. Subwoofer boxes, other speaker boxes. I believe that's the KEF R3 Meta boxes. I've got my Bucart box, and then the Radiant acoustic boxes are down here. So I moved the poles from there to here because I wanted to give myself more space in the back for future upgrades, also the storage, so that my TV is now precariously standing on all this foam. I know that this is very, very DIY, janky sort of mounting, but everything is kind of temporary around here because the entire system's changing. So Monolith Encore B6 in the front for center channel, that's right underneath my TV, and it just misses the top of my computer monitor. So that's okay. Kanto YU5s are not hooked up. R3s are here. My Radiant acoustics are here now, and I do change them back and forth every once in a while. The T6 towers are taking care of front, left, and right. So now my front system is essentially set up so I can use my computer. The center channel speaker just passes over the monitor. You can see there at the top of my computer chair. So that's about ear level, right above the TV, the monitor. And the space that I always had for my receiver was underneath here. So it's well vented. There's a grate on the bottom. It's very, very dusty. There's fans that are already set up there. Again, very, very dusty. But it's all open, breathable. I set up all my cables. All my wires are ready to go. You can see there at the back all the banana plugs. So it's all set up, ready to go. Theater will be installed, sort of the speakers and everything were installed in anticipation of the Cinema 40, which would give me 11 channels with external amplifier. Now, with the change and its defectiveness, I decided to go with another unit, which will be, it's in a waiting queue right now. I've had to pay a number of different things. I've got a budget to respect and work through the holidays and all that stuff, get my money back, as well as this upgrade, which I will talk about later on. So that's pretty much the state of affairs where we are now with the theater system. The 2-channel room, which I won't show because, as we know, I'm using it as an accommodation room right now. Actually, yes, I guess I should show it a little bit. Things that are going on here. I've got the speakers all covered up. The amplifiers were sold, so I don't have the Orchard Audios anymore, and we're just kind of doing what we do, and yeah, waiting for those to clear. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was ear health. Let me just take a seat here. And although I know that we all appreciate the gear and we want to hear about what works, what doesn't, reviews, what we think about products, what to buy, what to purchase, and I just want to say that our overall health, as well as the synergy in our systems, is very important. I just recently, and I guess take responsibility for using Q-tips, which you should not do. And I know that a lot of people know this already. Don't use Q-tips and other objects in your ear. Now, I did a lot of research, learned a lot more about the ear itself and how it functions, the outer canal rather than the inner ear, and the sense of hearing. I learned a lot more about how your skin works, what the wax and everything is for, how it works, what you should do if you feel or sense certain things. I had a loss of hearing in my ear, and if you can imagine in audio, if you have a loss of hearing in your ear, then it's a nightmare. It's literally the worst thing that could happen because it's your whole hobby. It's everything that we do in the hobby, and as soon as you lose it, it's a priority. So the last 3 days, I've been trying different kinds of droplets, which didn't really work. I tried to clean it. I tried to sleep differently. And eventually I had to call the doctor and go and get an ear flush done, which really worked, was very helpful. The doctor did it at my appointment, so I didn't have to go to a different specialist or an ENT, which is ears, nose, throat, which are all connected in your skull. I didn't have to go to a specialist to have it cleaned. The doctor's office did it for me. So that's amazing. I'm glad in Canada it's all included in our free healthcare or tax paid for healthcare. So I took advantage of that, got my ear cleaned. Now I have antibiotics because the ear was irritated because of the drops that I was using. So peroxide based, baking soda or sodium bicarbonate based. What they do is break up the earwax material because the earwax is actually a little bit acidic. The pH balance is above 7 or 8, whereas other things like sodium bicarbonate is like 6, which is neutralizes it, and it breaks up the material. So that's good, but what happens is your ear's no longer protected from things like infection. So if you clean your ears, you get water in your ears or swimmer's ear, and you have chlorine and it washes everything out, your ears are more susceptible to infection that way because it doesn't have its natural defenses. So we need to take care of our ears. I swear off of using Q-tips anymore, and I'll probably do an ear flush type of technique now going forward every once in a while, because as soon as I had this done at the doctor's office, it's like my clothes started rubbing together a different way. You could hear different kinds of things immediately after it was flushed and back to normal. It was really incredible. And I got to think, like, I did a lot of demoing and reviews and subjective takes on things. You got to think about, as reviewers out there, how many are taking care of their ears? What are they actually hearing? So it made me really think about, like, what are we doing with reviews? Why do we trust what people have to say when we don't know what's going on with their hearing? You know, another thing that I had brought up in research recently is, like, the shape of our outer ear really determines how we perceive a character of sound. Everybody's ear is shaped different, the same way that everybody's room is shaped different and responds differently. So even if we hear things in the same room at the same times, our ears have a way of shaping the sound. So when we give a subjective opinion, it's really not about giving a fact or giving a statement that reflects the gear. It's more like we're just sharing as a community rather than discussing something that is inherent in the product itself. Of course, if you have 100 people listening to the same things and their overall opinion, like Psychoacoustics would say, then you get a generalized average or a summary of those averages across the board. And that can be important. But individually, we're all really, really different. So you have to be looking at a lot of different samples or feedbacks across the board. And then you get a generalized summary of what these may sound like. It's just a very interesting perspective that I learned the hard way, I guess. So keep your ears clean, keep healthy. Don't take anyone's opinion very personally. Measurements and all that only set you up to play them in your own room and then make your own decisions. Like a lot of brands say now, trust your ears, which is true. And from me to you, I just want to say, please take care of your hearing. Don't take it for granted, because if you lose that, then you lose the entire hobby, and that's not a good thing at all. So I'm going to keep it short. We'll end here at 11 minutes or so. And I just want to say Happy New Year. Thanks for staying with me, even though my content has been a bit slow. Thank you to ISO Acoustics again, Radiant Acoustics, Bucart Audio. I want to thank the team at Massimo, Sound United, Marantz, Denon, all of those brands, B&W, Polk Audio. They've been very, very good the last little while. I'm looking forward to spending some time with them at Montreal Audio Fest. So also shout out to Michelle and Sarah at Montreal Audio Fest, Toronto Audio Fest, PMA Magazine. I'm looking forward to hanging out with all of my friends again in March. To Florida Audio Fest. Unfortunately, things didn't really work out this year. I couldn't find any sponsorships or work to do at the event, so I'm unable to pay my way down to Florida. But I will bank on some time to get to Expona, because Expona is a really big play, really big show of companies. Hoping to pay my full way down there so I don't really have to be running around working for anybody. We'll see how that goes. I probably will do some extra work besides my updated something I have to show later on. It's a camera. Let's just put it that way. It's a pro camera. I updated all of that stuff. I'll show a little bit in a different video. That's not what this one was for. So that's the short term. That's me up to March and April. So we'll see what happens after that. I've got a number of things that I wanted to get done, but I'm still in a compromised sort of scenario here. So as this year progresses, my content will be sparingly important, but I'm still here. So reach out to me, send me messages, join on the Discord. I'd still like to help all my friends out, answer some questions, whatever you want to know. And yeah, I'm here. I'm still here, and you're still here. And I'll see you all in the next video. So for now, take care of yourselves, heed the warnings I've mentioned, and I'll see you in the future.